thing working? God, freaking technology escapes me, Jake. It escapes me. Okay, we're ready? We're ready. Okay. Hey, what's up, fam? You know what time it is. It's race preview time, and we have none other than our guy, James Yellow. That's right. This is a steep stuff Chasin trail simulcast, or whatever you call it. It's going to be on both channels, so go give James a follow. If you're not following us already, you're doing something wrong, go give us a follow, all right? So without further ado, OCC from UTMB 2005. Oh yeah, and we go over some of the other races too. Yeah, and there's some other juicy tidbits in this episode that you're not going to want to miss. So without further ado, Teddy Tonelli, James Yellow. Steep stuff, Chasin trail. Let's do this. It's time!
Teddy Toenails, welcome back to the Steep Stuff Podcast. What's up, buddy?
Hey, James. Hey, everything's great over here, California. Excited to be on. Excited to do this preview for OCC, but I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Dude, you look very California today. You're like, got little cutoffs, very orange. I'm digging it.
It's funny you should say that. I was actually trying to go for a more Euro vibe. You know what I mean? Like I got my Italian flag hat on here, got my skimpy shorts. I got this little singlet here with represented by the most French company that you know. So
yeah, you look good, man. You look good. I gotta say, that's very Euro of you, and we'll be saying that a lot throughout this episode, I think.
I like the glasses, by the way. Those is nice.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I was channeling 80s Americana, like
okay.
with the beard, the mustache, and the glasses. I want to strike fear in the hearts of the Euros. I want them to be ready for what's coming, because there's going to be a whole can of whoop ass between OCC, CCC, and ETC. Oh baby, it's going down.
100%. I think the Americans, this is our year. This is absolutely our year.
Yeah. I can't say much about UTMB because I didn't do too much of a dive into it, but just from some of the look at that I did, for OCC, I'm pretty excited, man. I think we've got an amazing contingent of men and women going over there to compete, and I'm excited to preview this, man. This is our second race preview. I'm pumped to do this. OCC, do you know what it stands for?
You know what? That's so funny you should say that. It's the first thing on my list here, and I say I got a big issue with UTMB here. What's up with all the freaking letters here? OCC, CCC, UTMB. Can we get some freaking numbers? Okay? How long is the race that we're previewing, by the way?
This is a 55K. That equates to 34 miles. So it's pretty it's pretty far.
Yeah.
Pretty far for someone like me. That's kind of short for someone like you.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Hey, look, sometimes we it's funny too, James, because, I'm looking at this race. I was doing a little research here, and some history is that they brought OCC on and a kind of like entry level to UTMB, right? They says all these short trail people that can't do hundreds because they got short legs or whatever. We're gonna throw this race in the mix. Personally, part of me thinks that it's just they want to make more money, but the other part of me says, well, hey, they started this race and now it has become one of the most competitive races on the weekend.
Oh, dude, it's crazy, man. So this race is going to take place this upcoming Thursday, so a little bit less than a week from when we're recording this. So Thursday, August 28th, 8:15 a.m. So a nice, gentle start time. Not a weird time. Usually the Europeans, dude, these Golden Trail races and stuff like that, they start them at 2 in the afternoon, 1 in the afternoon, 3 in the afternoon. Dude, even the VK starts at like 5 in the evening. Like, who starts races like that? So it's exciting that it's 8:15 start. Dude, the course is amazing. Like, I have to be honest with you, and maybe maybe you got some insider information there from that Michelino Sunseru guy, but like, I have to say this is probably the most beautiful course of the UTMB courses, in my opinion.
I would agree. I think it is gorgeous. I mean, really, at the end of the day, they do a great job with the live stream and all the Instagram reels, and they showing, the scenery and everything. Teddy's never been out to Chamonix, but like, I really want to get out there one of these days. It looks so beautiful. Yeah, he's out there right now. Michelino's out there right now. He's preparing. He's going and getting himself some pastries and petting some European dogs and things like that. It's beautiful.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Let's talk a little bit about this course. So, dude, 11,236 feet of climbing based off my conversion there. That's a lot of vertical in a 50K. What do you think about that?
Well, on top of that, okay, John Albin has the record for this race. I believe he kind of owns this race for the men. I believe he's won it like three times. And what's amazing to me is with all that vert, over 55K, he ran that race at an average pace of 8 minutes per mile. That is blazing fast. Blazing fast for that much vert. And like that 11,000, that's like a sky race right there almost, isn't it? It's pretty much, I think kind of technically, maybe. I don't know. I don't know the rules.
I would say this is the most mountainous course. I would say of the courses between CCC, UTMB, let's just say between OCC, CCC, and UTMB, this is the most mountainous race, if you will,
Yeah.
just because of the profile. Now, I will correct you on one thing. So
Okay.
this course has changed numerous times. Eli
Yeah.
Hemming is technically the course record holder for this course, which I believe
Wow.
will be the course that's going to be ran this year. So our boy Eli ran last year 5:11:48, and then so since we're getting into course records, dude, there's a lot of like history and some crazy shit behind this race. Do you know about the guy, the Stian Ungerman dude?
Hey, I no, I'm not sure about this Ungermans.
The Ungerman man, he ran it in 2023, won the race in 4:42:40, so about 20 25 minutes faster than our boy Eli, and he was that. So what happened was because of a doping violation, that is no longer recognized. So our
Oh,
boy Francesco Pupi, he
yeah.
won in 2023 and got second place last year. So Francesco Pupi is technically the 2023 champion.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
Shout
wow.
out to
That
Pupi.
that that is amazing. And well, I will say, Eli, good job. Hey, John Albin, guess what? America beats you guys again. You guys cannot win.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's dude, there's a lot of so one thing I've found about the UTMB races, and this is the same thing for the big course, a little bit less so in the CCC, although the course has changed for CCC, is that they're constantly changing courses. Like they're constantly taking sections out, putting sections in, and a lot of times it's all around that OCC course. So the way the modern course runs is you'll start out at a place called, and I'm going to butcher the way you pronounce this, is Orsires or Osiris, Osiris,
Oh,
Osiris,
okay. I was gonna ask
Switzerland.
you. Yeah,
That's what
I have
OC. That's what the
Osiris.
O stands for, Osiris. And then so you run to Champagne Lac. That's the first big aid station. Trient, then Col de Banon or Col de Baume, excuse me. La Frigère. La Frigère is usually that section you'll see. It's very iconic. You'll see it's like ski slopes.
Hmm.
Almost like a ski like steep ski roads, and then or sorry, that's Col de Bonhomme, and then you'll kind of drop down into Chamonix after, if I remember correctly. So
Yeah.
it is four gigantic, just ass whooping climbs.
Yeah.
Very cool race.
No, very, very awesome. Yeah, you're going through Osiris, Champex, and Chamonix, which is the OCC part of it. I think I'm not good with the names. The French with the X's and things like that, I don't understand it. So I just go by it with the American version, Osiris, Champex, and Chamonix. In case you're going over there, sound like a real local.
I think you got it. I think you got the pronunciation down. I think
Thank you.
that dialect will strike hearts into many men. Yeah, I think
Yes.
the French would be scared with that
You
dialect.
know what? They should be scared. We're coming. Okay, we're coming, French people. It's funny. I actually only have one French person on my podium pick for the men, so stay tuned.
Oh wow, wow, I like that.
Yeah.
Teddy, how do you get into this race? You collect a bunch of stones? Do you know how you get in?
Yeah, I don't do the whole UTMB thing. I'm gonna be honest with you, James. I don't understand. I like rocks, okay? The thing is, I do like rocks, but like
you're gonna make me collect the rocks and then I gotta give them back to you digitally. I don't do the digital rock thing. Teddy does real rocks. But yeah, basically what happens is you gotta go run other UTMB races. Okay, you collect your stones. Depending on the type of race, depends on the type of stones that you get, and then you get to enter those stones. And then some Wizard of Oz type person decides whether or not you get to have the privilege to come race this race. But it seems as though it's grown so much recently. It started with like 600 people as the first entrance, and now it's up to like 2,000 stinky people at the start line. So. But yeah, I mean, maybe you could shed some light on the stone situation. I'm really not sure. I know that you got to collect them and then give them back.
It's kind of like almost like the Pokemon thing, collect them all, or like yeah, it's that's kind of what it reminds me of. But in order to kind of jump that system,
Yeah.
in order to get in order to have gotten in for 2025, you had to have run a UTMB qualifier in 2024. If you want to get an auto bid at any normal UTMB race, okay, or sorry, yeah, at any normal UTMB race, you would have had to have gotten on the podium, so top 3. And then if you wanted to get an auto bid at any of the majors, you would have had to have gotten in the top 10. So it's kind of it's kind of transparent. I mean, it's a little bit more transparent.
Not like Hard Rock. My
yeah,
God.
not like Hard Rock. No,
Oof.
opaque. Hard Rock's kind of opaque. That's a kind of a good old boys
It's a
system.
it's a good old boys club. I say we boycott Hard Rock. That's just my opinion. Hot take.
Ooh, no, I'm dude, I kind of agree with you. I don't know. We'll get into that. Do you want to talk? Let's talk prize money. There's it seems like it really sucks to be 10th place in this race, but it really works to be first place. So if you win, how many euros do you think you get?
Ooh, okay. I'm going 3,500 euros.
More. No, 13,000 euros for first.
13,000
Yeah,
euros?
and that's to men and women. 13,000 euros for first, and then it's 7.5 thousand euros for second, and then 5,000 euros for third, and then it just goes down from there, and all the way down to 8th, 9th, and 10th place get 1,000 euros each. So it's not bad. First, it pays to be it pays to be a winner at this race.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It always pays to be a winner, James.
Yeah. So not bad. I gotta say, UTMB not too bad on the prize purse. That's a pretty good payout in my opinion. For I mean, it would be nicer because I kind of look at this as like the 50K World Championship in a lot of ways.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be nice to see like 50,000 euros for the winner. That'd be kind of cool. Maybe like 60. Because,
Something real crazy,
a
yeah.
salary there, like help some people out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got plenty of money. They got bought by the Iron Man Lifetime, right? So I mean, they got they got plenty of money to be throwing around, and then it brings big competition. People been saying that this is kind of like, is the Golden Trail series. This is really where you are gonna find all those people that have been running Golden Trail, and you're really gonna put them to the test. It's not exactly that, but people kind of look at it as that. This is really the Super Bowl for trail running, depending on the distance that you're running.
It's true. I see a lot of people moving up in distance, and I see a lot of people moving down in distance. We've got, some pretty notable people on the start list that are kind of jumping up to that 50K to see where they kind of stack up there. And then you see guys like Mr. Jim Walmsley kind of moving down in distance, it's kind of interesting. It's a good melting pot of a field this year.
No, it really is. And the thing is that, this race has always kind of been looked at as a stepping stone to the bigger distances, right? But at the same time, we're starting to see people who are really just taking that 50K distance and they are honing their craft and they're sticking with it and they keep running the same race. And look, I got to say, is if you find something you're good at, you'll be good at it. You don't have to go run the 100 miles. You could stick with your 55Ks. I see nothing wrong with that.
It's true, man. It's true. I do want to bring up one thing. There's some interesting stuff to this race. It's stuff that I didn't know until I started doing some research and learned a little bit more. So there are technically no crewed aid stations at this race, which is very anti-Euro because usually in a lot of the Euro races, you can just grab bottles from people off the side of the course.
Yeah.
Another thing is there's a ton of mandatory gear. So you got to bring a lot of shit with you because there's no crewed aid stations. So you're carrying most of it's kind of an art. This is a little bit of a more difficult dance where you got to carry all this stuff with you. So you'll see a lot of packs. And we'll see what happens with this course because it's going to be cold and rainy all week. High for race day is going to be 68. The low is going to be 48. 50% chance of rain, so lots of humidity in there. So it depends on if you get up high, are they going to do cold weather kits? Because UTMB always likes to throw that in. Maybe for the longer courses, they'll have it. But it's possible that they'll make you have a mandatory cold weather kit for this race, which is kind of crazy. One other thing, I think you'd find this interesting. You can't cut switchbacks on this race. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's funny you should say that because, one of the top Americans that's in this race, Michelino Sunseru, I figured he's going to Europe. It plays right into his hand when it comes to cutting switchbacks. And I said, I'm putting him at the freaking top. And then I see that you can't cut switchbacks in this race. And I say to myself, huh. How's Michelino going to fare in this now that he has to take an actual marked course? Yeah, I don't know. I still think he's got a good chance. I have him in my rankings. We'll get to it, but yeah, I think it plays into the hand of the Americans because most Americans are law-abiding citizens, except for a few instances. So, I would say that this is gonna hurt the Euros a little bit, which is interesting because for the on the men's side, not a very deep field for the Americans. It's actually a very diverse field on the international side if you really look at it.
I agree. I agree. Let's talk about some of the Americans in the race. I mean, I've seen just off the top of my head for the highest ranking athletes that are going to be out there with the biggest ITRA indexes or UTMB indexes, if you will. Michelino Sunseru, obviously. I have one question for you before we move on from Michelino. Have the park rangers been are they made aware that he's over there?
Yeah. The thing is that I think that the Grand Teton National Park people they did send a memo over to their European counterparts. They're not associated directly, but and when we talked about good old boys clubs, kind of the same thing. Rangers see rangers, so they let them know, and they're gonna be on the lookout. I hear that they actually have extra officials on the course specifically because Michelino is gonna be there to see if they can get him again and throw him in European jail once and for all.
Wow. Wow. At least he'll get free healthcare over there. I mean, it could,
That's what they say. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Another name that I had run into, Mr. Jim Walmsley. Pretty exciting to have him. I have a question for you about Jim. It seems like after he moved to France, he developed a French accent.
Oh, so wait, okay. This is funny because I have a French person on the podium, and that's Jim. I thought he was French at this point. I thought that I remember he went to UTMB a few years back and he got thwarted again. It's like Jim just couldn't get it done. So he moved out to France and he started doing the whole schemo thing and everything. And what's crazy is I thought that he was from Flagstaff. He comes back to America and I'm like, who's this freaking French guy that we have here? Like he speaks really good English, but like clearly French.
I find it kind of funny considering like his wife, Jess, who's an amazing athlete in her own right, did not develop a French accent. Jim, suddenly, he even developed an accent. It's kind of crazy. He really went all in, man.
If he's still an American, I say that we pull his passport, we pull his citizenship, and we say, you know what? You want to be French? Get gone there, stinky. Yeah.
Another name that I came across was Adam Peterman. I'm excited. Dude, we finally get a Jim Walmsley Adam Peterman matchup for probably the first time ever.
Oh yeah, no, it's great. I mean, and it's fantastic because Adam Peterman, since his big debut, well, I say debut because Adam Peterman's been doing it a long time, but since his victory at Western States, he's been dealing with some injuries. He's been coming back slowly but surely. And this year he had a good showing at Western States. It wasn't the best one, but he's coming back, and I think that training is slowly building. And you know what? Adam Peterman is always a dark horse. You throw him in any race, he could show out. And I think that the matchup between him and Jim is going to be excellent. Both incredible athletes, French versus America. Finally, we get to see it.
It's very exciting. I mean, some heavy hitters for the men. Also, we can't count out our boy Cade Michael, young gun. Yeah, young gun. Posted a video yesterday of him and Justin Small, and Justin Small has had as high as a fourth place finish at this race, training together, getting out on the course. I think Josh, if I remember correctly, is going to be running CCC this year. So Cade, Cade had a seventh place finish at Broken Arrow at the Broken Arrow 46K, almost knocked one out of the park this year. Also had a seventh place finish at Canyons and was in the top 3 up until the very end of the race. Like, I think this kid is kind of the future of our sport in a lot of ways, like especially on the American side. Definitely poised to crank one out of the park. I really like Cade. So that's someone I'm definitely looking into. I'm a little bummed. I'm happy, but I'm bummed. Ryan Becker's going to be out of this race, not going to be racing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think he had some sort of small injury from Speed Goat after his Speed Goat win. And he's decided to pull out of OCC to specifically focus on Worlds, where he'll be competing in the short trail. So I get it. It makes sense, you know? It's a lot of trips to Europe, so.
Yeah, it's completely screwing up my rankings now. I didn't realize that he was out. I had him as a lock for second place. I'm gonna have, like, while we're talking, I'm gonna have to figure out who to throw up there. But that's good. That's good information. I got to change my fantasy draft here on the free trail. So. Do you do that? Do you do the free trail fantasy picks?
I don't, because you would think I would do pretty well on them. And co-hosts I've had in the past, and specifically frequent co-host, Mr. Nick Tusa, always kills it. Like, he's always in the top ranking, like does very well at it. I don't really get into it. I don't know. I'm a little more of a contrarian. You know, it would be fun if we had, this is a good conversation. What do you think about, like, actual betting? Like, what if we had, like, actual, like, DraftKings Live, like, over-under, like, you could pick, like, random things, like, over-under on Jim Walmsley winning, over-under on Michelino pooping his pants at the race, like, you know, for the second time.
I love it.
You know, there's a lot of things you could do with it, you know?
I love it. Yeah, no, and I think that at the end of the day, a sport really kind of comes to its own when you stop betting on them like horses. And the thing is that, you know, if you really want the prize money to be bigger, you got to get more money into it. You got to get that. You got to commercialize it more. I've been saying this for years, James. We sit here and we talk about getting all these groups in here, all these disenfranchised groups, which again, I do not disagree with. I think that's great. We got to give everybody a chance, but we need more rich people in this sport. We get more rich people, we get more money. You know, these athletes, look, okay, take all of your, you know, your pet projects and all of those things that you'd like, you know, oh, the environment. No, sell out, get the money in there. Let's go, baby, bet on them.
That's a hot take, Teddy. That is a hot take. I get it. I mean, I do think, like I said, like, a little DraftKings sportsbook, little over-under, wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Especially, listen, I have texted Dylan about this, like, numerous times, and Free Trail kind of just refuses to take that way, even though I think Dylan could be like a billionaire by now had he probably brought some sports betting into trail running, which would be crazy to think about considering it's such a small grassroots sport. But that's a whole different conversation.
I think that with the fantasy, what I think would be really cool, what they would do is if they did dynasty. They did a dynasty model where you could pick the younger guys coming up, right? You pick those guys, those, you know, the people that, you know, nobody really knows about, and then you could just build this, like, massive roster. I don't know. It's fun, right? I mean, take it a little bit, you know, take it a little further there, D-Bot. You know, you're a robot. You could figure this out. Come on now.
Oh, I forgot. This is right. He's a robot.
He's a robot.
The thread continues. All right, let's talk American women at this race, and then we'll get into some of the storylines, specifically just on the women's side and some of the men's side. Sophia Lockley is going to return. This is going to be her second race this year after her finish at the Mont Blanc Marathon. So I'm sure she's probably, you know, this will be her OCC debut, which is kind of cool. Sophia Lockley, if you guys are not familiar with that name, absolutely took the world by storm in 2023 with an incredibly high ranking in the Golden Trail Series, won a crazy amount of races, has done well at the races like Series Anal, Zagama, and Broken Arrow, quite a few of them. It's going to be exciting to see her back. Hannah Allgood, after a top 10 finish at Western States, is going to be on the start list. Do you think it'll be all bad for all good, or do you think it'll be all good for all good?
Thing is, James, is last time we had a preview, I really said it's going to be all bad for all good, and I have to eat my words, eat the crow, as they say, because I believe that she got first place at the Canyons when that happened, or she got podium at the very least.
She won it.
She ran.
Yeah,
she won it. Yeah.
Oh, no. Did she get second to Jen Lichter? I can't remember. I
can't. I think I want to say that she actually got first because I remember seeing the result, and I was like, well, that was an L, Teddy. I actually don't have her in my top 8. I'm gonna say it right now. I have her as an honorable mention though. So the thing is with Hannah is that Hannah can absolutely come out and she could easily win this one. All right, she could come out and do it. I just think that her focus on the longer trails is gonna have her coming up a little bit short on this one. That's it. I'm not saying she's gonna have a bad race. I just don't think that she's gonna podium. That's it.
It's interesting, man. I got to be honest with you. Like I bet the opposite for Canyons
Wow.
because I didn't have her doing well at Canyons because she had been going up and racing CCC and doing a lot of longer stuff. Comes to Canyons and whoops ass.
Yeah.
I think her best distance, in my opinion, is the 50K distance. She's very good, very strong. Rep in Colorado Springs, so I want to give her her flowers for that. Shout out to Colorado Springs, good training ground. We just had you out here in Colorado Springs to mess
Oh
around.
God, it was so beautiful. I cannot wait to get out there. I gotta get out of this communist state of California. My God, can you believe that they're charging property taxes that is out to yin yang? Teddy buys a house, okay, and then they say, oh, you gotta pay X. You know what? I'm not getting into it. Yeah, I'm gonna come out to Colorado soon.
On top of Hannah Allgood, we have Ashley Brassavan. Ashley, Hoka athlete. This is going to be, which actually she did race at the Broken Arrow 46K, had a great race. I'm sorry. Did race at the Broken Arrow 46K, was not her day. Has had some great races in the past, though. Champion of the Bartrail Mountain Race last year. Usually always consistently on a podium. Has had great finishes at the Broken Arrow 23K as well. This is a little bit of a step up in distance for her. Took some big swings. Like I said, at Broken Arrow, we will see. On top of that, Claire DeVore. A name who I'm really excited to see on this list is Sarah Carter. 2 top 10 finishes at Golden Trail Series races, at 1 TAPAC and 2 Alpine, Spitz Alpine Glacier Trail, which was a Golden Trail Series race the week before Series and all. So that, I gotta say, this might be more of Sarah's course because it's a bit more technical, a bit more engaging. It's a bit longer. She tends to perform really well at races like that. So I would not be surprised to see Sarah Carter kind of in the hunt for top 15, top 10. Another name on athlete is Sam Lewis. And then last but not least, and I didn't check my facts on this, is Lindsay Allison. I'm not sure because her partner is Ryan Becker if she is going out to race this race as well. She was originally signed up for CCC. That was the A goal. And then she moved down to OCC once she got onto the Worlds team. The only question I have is she also going out because Ryan's not, and what that looks like. I should have asked before, and that was some bad reporting on my behalf. So I'm not sure if she's going to be there. I would say probably she will. But that's what I've got as far as the American women and men's contingent.
Okay, yeah, no, I like that. Okay, let me ask you a question. Is Allie McLaughlin running this race? Did I get some bad info here?
Allie Mack is going to be out for this year. It looks like we're not going to, I know she's been having some, and she was pretty open about it on Instagram, has had a little bit of a naggy injury. And she is just looking to get herself 100% healthy for Worlds. So you'll see her on that Mountain Classic team at Worlds, ready to absolutely crush in typical Allie fashion. Big Allie fan, man. Allie's one of my
big Allie fan. Like Mighty Mouse, that one. Man, she's so fast. Just that little thing just running around the mountains she's crazy. Love it. But okay, no, that's good. Good clarification there. Interesting, a notable absence from this race is Helen Mino, keep my name out your mouth, Faulkner. So, yeah. For American women, she actually came. She podiumed, I believe she podiumed back in like 2023, something like that. I think she got second, maybe. But yeah, it's some speculation actually that Hoka has put her on timeout for some recent comments made at the Mountain Tiger race. Apparently, was throwing a toddler-sized tantrum about not being able to wear a tantrum vest. Okay, and so Hoka said, "You're gonna sit on the sidelines here, Helen." So that's interesting. Just throwing that out there. I know that. Look, I know that on your podcast, I know she had already said some things about you and about your reporting. So I don't want to necessarily stir the pot here, but this is breaking news. Is that it's a Hoka race. She's a Hoka athlete. Maybe soon be maybe toddler tantrum athlete. We'll see.
This is I mean, it's groundbreaking reporting, Teddy. You got
Well,
good sources. Yeah, I
I
didn't
got
hear
great
any of this.
sources.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Was it OCC? I thought she had done really well at CCC. I
Was
could
it
be wrong. I
CCC?
think it was
Yeah,
CCC.
it might have been CCC. I'm not sure. I thought it was OCC. I could be wrong. See, that's the thing, is that Teddy's reporting is good and it's bad. You know.
Listen, I think I get this man the Pulitzer. Let's talk storylines here. I want to get into some more storylines.
Yep.
Are you familiar with Mao Yao, the 2024 champion?
Oh yeah, I got his. I got it. I got it on my list.
Dude, Mao Yao, absolute crusher, 2024 champion, returns, and she's also the current course record holder for this particular course. She'll be back this year. Men's third place in 2024, Antonio Perez returns. He also has 2 second-place finishes in the previous years. I don't know if you're familiar. You ever seen that Antonio Perez guy? He's a sky runner. Runs for ASICS. The dude is such a killer. He kind of sits back. I love his style of racing. He's not as aggressive as you would think. Sits back and then goes for the kill in the second half of the race and just runs dudes down. Amazing athlete. Could be his year. Could be his year depending on what we get here. Some notable absences: men's 2024 winner Eli Hemming and men's 2023 winner and second place Francesco Pupi. Both are going to be moving up to CCC. I don't know if Pupi's ready for that Eli challenge, dude. That's a tough nut to crack. Good luck to Francesco there. Eli's probably the best in the world at this point.
Oh no, absolutely. Look, and I think that's going to be another exciting race. Obviously we're not, necessarily previewing that one right now, but Francesco Pupi, again, a guy that, I counted him out at Canyons. What does he do? He goes and freaking wins it. So here, note to everybody, if Teddy picks somebody to do terrible, they're probably going to win it. So, Eli versus Francesco, that's premier right
and
there.
David Sinclair's in that race too.
Yeah. Oh,
If he's
yeah. Another.
healthy.
Well, Broken Arrow. Look at Eli Hemming and David Sinclair. They was battling to the very end. We might have the exact same thing there. We might have 2 Americans, first and second, followed by Francesco Pupi as the CCC podium. I mean, you count it.
CCC is going to be crazy this year. All right,
It is.
to. I do want to say women's second place and probably my pick for the win, Judith Wider, is going to be at this race. She's going to be racing again. See, dude, I'm excited for Judith Wider. One thing that she didn't do this year that she has done in previous years is run Series and All in the weeks leading up to OCC. This year, she did not run Series and All. She seems locked in. I think this is her course.
Yeah.
She's an former orienteer, extremely good technical runner. It's going to be really cool to see Judith kind of throw down against Mao. We already talked about Mr. Jim Walmsley. He's going to be racing for the first time since he spanked Killian's ass at Chianti. That's going to be fun. Shout out to Killian. Since I had this in my notes, since moving to France, did Jim develop a French accent? Literally had that written down. We already talked about that. Maud Mathis. It's going to be her first OCC. Maud is the former. Actually is the course record holder for Series and All, and she is also the course record holder for the Pikes Peak Marathon. Maud's a beast. Yes. So Jasmine Lowther is also on the start list as well. Can we talk about her Grand Teton record? Can we bring that up? Does the world know
I think
about
we
this
can.
yet?
I think, the world knows about it. I believe that that sham website, fkt.com, has decided to actually post her. So she went originally for the supported record on the new and approved, the government approved course. And I don't believe that one has been accepted yet. I think that they're still doing some funny business behind the scenes, probably talking to park rangers and things like that, because apparently you need their permission to set a record now. But she also went for the unsupported about a week later, not even on fresh legs. She just goes out there like a week later, and then she goes and gets that one. So pretty much the queen of the Grand Teton. She's coming in, rolling in here. I have her very high on my list, James. I think that she is primed, ready to go. We're talking about all the vert in this race. I think that she is ready for that aggressive climbing followed by an extremely aggressive downhill. She's preparing for it, right? She's run the most iconic mountain, one of the most iconic, beautiful mountains in the United States, taken both records, okay? She's coming to Europe. She's showing them what's up. This Canadian is pissed. The thing is, I don't think that she has let go of all that talk about the 51st state stuff, okay? She is mad and she's here to show everybody that Canada still has a big old set of ovaries. You know what I mean? I would say balls, but I'm trying to be politically correct here and be more inclusive.
I think that's a good yeah. Jasmine, dude, I gotta say, top 5 finish again at Speed Goat, 2024 champion. Looks great. I think she's going to be able to have a great race here. I mean, it's her type of style, of course. Yeah, I'm excited to see her throw down here. I think it's going to be a good day out for her. Sarah Alonso.
Yeah.
Dude, Sarah Alonso, after 4th place finish in 2024, she is back. Unfortunately, dealing with some injury earlier in the season. She was attacked by, I don't know if it was a cow or a bull on a run, and she had some broken ribs. Pretty crazy, man. Like those, yeah, those animals will get you. This is, I've run past a couple cows before, and they've given me dirty looks, and I've wondered, like, can I get away from you? Can I outrun you? Listen, if Sarah can't outrun them, I can't outrun them. That's
God,
terrifying.
no.
Yeah.
Well, people always talking about how there's no predators in Europe, right? There's no mountain cougars, there's no bears, things like this, right? So people's not worried about it. But guess what? That makes the cows extra aggressive. That makes them spunky. It gives them a little bit of extra, like, hey, you're in my territory, and they get real angry. And if you look into a cow's eyes, James, I don't know if you've ever stared into a cow's eyes, but Teddy loves animals, but Teddy does not trust cows. And Sarah, I bet you doesn't trust cows either at this point.
Yeah, I gotta say, yeah, you gotta it changes, like when you have a glass of milk or eat a steak. It changes the way you think about it.
Oh yeah, you eat it just as aggressively as they look at you. You eat that steak and you say, "Guess what? Who win this time?"
Yeah,
Stupid cow. Yeah, absolutely. We Sarah, we're with you.
Oh, dude,
Down
I'm
with
such
the
a big
cows.
Sarah Alonso fan.
She's on my list. She's on my list, James.
A killer. Okay, one last thing before we get off of women's storylines. Jolene Chepnjego, 2025 Series Anal winner, 2024 Series Anal winner, is going to be debuting at OCC as well. She got in, I think it was a little late. I didn't see her on the start list a couple weeks ago, but super excited that she's going to be lining up at this race. It's going to be cool to see her kind of step up in distance. She also had a great race at the Mont Blanc Marathon, so she can run that distance. This is just a little bit further. It's going to be interesting to see how she kind of attacks, kind of the course and goes from there. So it's going to be fun to follow along.
Agreed.
You want to talk matchups? I've got a list of matchups that interest me on the men's side. The first one,
let's do it.
First one I see is Jim Walmsley versus Adam Peterman. The second one I see is Jim Walmsley versus the world. I also want to see Nadir versus Davide. So I'm going to get into a few of these. So Jim Walmsley versus the world. The reason I say that is because, like, I can't imagine the level of pressure that dude probably has on him. Former UTMB winner. When Jim swings, he usually doesn't miss. And if he does miss, it's usually a dropout from UTMB last year and things like that over injury. You got to remember, he's moving down in distance. Jim, interestingly enough, hasn't raced anything under a 60K since the 2020 Golden Trail World Series Championship, like the final. They did one in the Azores during COVID, and that was the last time Jim kind of did some more, if you quote unquote will say, shorter trail stuff. And also in 2019, he did race Series Anal and got third after winning Western. Did he win Western States in 2019? Yeah, after a huge performance at Western States. So it's going to be really interesting to see Jim fresh in a race like this.
Yeah, well, you got to ask yourself, why is he dropping down in distance? He's not doing it just for the giggles. He's not doing it because he can't run 100 miles. We know that's not the case. So I think that Jim's going to bring something special to the table here. Again, his new I would say, I mean, it's not even new, his French accent, it really kind of makes him feel at home, when he's at that start line and all those stinky French people's around, and it's just like, oh God, like, and that was one of my other things about them starting it in the morning. At least we get to have those European people take fresh showers and then go to the start line, because my God, a 2 p.m. start in Europe, it smells like a freaking farm.
It's true. That's true. What do you think about Adam Peterman versus Jim Walmsley? You think Adam's got a shot at beating him?
Oh yeah, Adams absolutely got a shot at beating him. Whether or not he does it or not. I don't know if Adams completely back yet. I don't know if he's completely back yet. He might be. He looks happy. He looks like he's found that joy of running again. He's out there. He's training hard. He's smiling. He's out there in Europe right now. He's getting ready. He's getting acclimated. I think that Adam again. I don't have him. I have him just missing the podium, but. He is absolutely a threat. He is absolutely a threat, and he could take Jim out for sure.
Yeah, I mean, he had a great CCC last year. Again, him and Hayden Hawks kind of, battled it out. Yeah, it's just going to be really interesting to see that dynamic in a race, especially because they're very similar types of athletes. Both have a lot of range. Like before Adam got really big in the sport, like he was racing short trail races and doing really well. Like he won the Pikes Peak Marathon. He's done a lot of really high-end stuff. Or did he win? No, I think he got second at the Pikes Peak Marathon. Man, I'm off today. Okay, one more matchup that I'm looking at is Nadir Magwe and Davide Magnini. Davide Magnini is back. Just won the Mont Blanc Marathon not too long ago. This kid is nasty, dude. In like 2019, 2018, 2019, 2020, like in that range, this kid was winning and getting on the podium at pretty much every Golden Trail Series race. This is the heyday of like when Stian was at his best, when before Remy was really Remy and like kind of took that step forward. It was a kind of a who's who. Like this was back when Killian was running for Solomon, like back in the day. And Davide was an absolute killer. Kind of ran into some issues with injury and is kind of back now. Like I said, won the Mont Blanc Marathon. It's interesting because Davide and Nadir are both Italians, right? Nadir has a little bit more of a relaxed approach. He's a La Sportiva athlete. He's a little more chill when it comes to. There's a great Golden Trail Series episode about these two. It might have been back from 2019. It's been a few years. And talking about kind of both of their backgrounds and stuff like that. Whereas Davide and Nadir both are Italian skimo athletes. So the way it works in Italy and Europe in a lot of ways is if you're a skimo athlete for them, you're kind of part of the government, which is interesting. So like you're part of the military. So that kind of you're a member of the military, if you will. So it's kind of just an interesting backstory with these two. Been friends for a long time. Nadir is nasty, man. Kid is so good, very good on the Skyrunner side. Davide's style is a little bit different. Does more Golden Trail stuff. Hasn't in a while. So it's going to be interesting to see what these two match up to. One more matchup I have is Petter Engdahl and Roberto De Lorenzi. Roberto is, I think he raced like 30 or 40 times last year. Roberto is an animal. And then Petter Engdahl hasn't done much in the last year or so after kind of dropping out. What did he race? Did he drop from UTMB last year? It was either last year or the year before he dropped from UTMB. So Petter's kind of back and doing something shorter. He's a third place finisher from 2022, I believe, at the OCC side. So, and then kind of went up. I think he won OCC in 2023. That's right, because John Albin would have won in 24. So yeah, Petter's has a lot of history with these races. So it's going to be interesting to see Petter in this race and how he mixes it up. Yeah, that's kind of what I have for matchups.
Oh yeah, no, there's some great matchups here going into it. I think that I think that what we're gonna see this weekend, I think with this race specifically, of any of the races that we have, you're gonna see that the chances of somebody new, not even new, but like you see a new face, maybe that Americans don't see very often. You're gonna see different people on these podiums. It's not like UTMB. Over here, it seems as though we really focus on the UTMB portion of the live stream, and then every other race kind of takes a back seat. But I would encourage the people. Check out OCC, check out CCC. Some of these shorter races, and not that CCC is a short race, it's still 100K, but OCC, I love it. I love the matchups. I am really excited for Adam Peterman and Jim Walmsley. I really think that's going to be beautiful. I was really hoping Ryan Becker was going to be here. I really wanted to see Ryan Becker versus Michelino Sunseru because those two are always neck and neck when it comes to podium finishes here on the United States side. But Ryan blew his load over at Speed Goat apparently, and that's okay. Ryan, we hope you get better soon there, buddy.
And Michelino blew his pants. Not good.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I don't know if a lot of people know that about Speed Goat, which is funny because Ryan naturally took the spotlight when it came to his victory, and all credit what credit is due. But the funniest part of it is that Michelino, who was a favorite to win the race, goes out and quite literally craps his freaking pants, literally craps his pants on course, and it's like, man, the thing is though, he was hanging out with Garrett the Parrot Corcoran over there, so the night before they're just smashing hot dogs and natty lights all night long, or PBRs. I'm not sure exactly which one it is that is their favorite now, the cheap beer, but it's just hot dogs and beer, hot dogs and beer. And guess what? That's you could call it gut training, but it just came out his butt, and that's it.
This is true. This is true.
Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah. I think he learned his lesson. And I think he'll. One thing I wrote down for folks to watch. Someone, whether it be Michelino, I'm thinking someone on the American side is going to have a really good race. Whether it be Michelino, Cade Michael, or Sam Hendry. Even though Sam Hendry's a Canadian, he's not an American. That said, Sam Hendry races stateside a lot.
Yeah.
One of those three, I think, is going to have like a breakthrough, amazing performance. Michelino has raced this course before. I think it was it 22 or 23. He was a top 20 finisher, just behind the first female. I think Michelino has a lot of opportunity to do really well at a race like this. It just depends on where he's at with fitness. Did not race at Broken Arrow, did race at Speed Goat, had some things to figure out. I think he's trying to get everything together, figured out for Worlds, where he'll probably have his best performance of the year. But I think this is going to be a good opportunity to for him to show who he is and his level of skill. Cade Michael as well. I think Cade's got a great opportunity to do well at this race, and then Sam Hendry as well. Sam's been kind of quiet. I haven't really seen him on the scene since last year at Speed Goat. We had a top 5 finish. So I think Sam's got an opportunity to do pretty well here. Kid's at one point in time was on the Solomon International team and was just a freak athlete. I have a question for you. Do you think Jim's a lock to win this race?
No. People are gonna say that, because again, look, big name out there. People's gonna say, because again, I think that people look at the names, they look at what he's done in the past. I don't know. I don't think he's a lock. There's too much talent here. You mentioned Cade Michael. These young up and coming studs here. This got got something to prove. You got lots of guys. I mean, on my list. Look, I'll be honest. Jim's at the top. I don't think he's a lock though, James. I don't. That seems silly to say he's a lock at this point in his career. He's great. A lock? Nah, too much good talent.
Do you think so? This is something I've been thinking about lately. There was a great interview I can put in the show notes. I don't know if I texted it to you. It was an interview with Killian and Jim. And there was, I think it was Brian Meltzer interviewing them. And it was just really interesting to get to see the way they think. And one of the things that blew me away was kind of the way Jim ranked everything. Like, how do you rank a GOAT? How do you rank an all-time great? How do you rank a great? And he had like different levels of wins for like different things. I don't really consider Jim a GOAT yet. Like I would put your GOATs as your Killians of the world, your Joseph Brays of the world. Those are truly the greatest of all time. Courtney DeWalter, I could see that, there's an amazing argument there. And then people of the past as well. I'd say Jim has established himself as an all-time great. What do you think?
No, I would agree with that. I would say that at the end of the day, look, if we want to talk about we want to talk about all-time greats. Look, Jim, I think, has cemented himself as the Western States all-time greatest, right? He's come in, I think he did a three-peat. Now, you could go back and you can argue, like Scott Jurek. Yeah, well, first of all, Scott Jurek's a vegan. Number two, he did it back when there was absolutely zero competition. So he has that going against him. And look at it. Jim had to come to UTMB how many times and get his ass whooped by Killian? How many times? And then he has Zach Miller, which again, great athlete in his own right. Zach Miller's pushing him for him before he gets his first victory there. So, I think Jim's still got a little ways to go. I think especially on the European side, I think some of them, again, like Killian, absolute GOAT, right? Joseph Gray, as you said, absolute GOAT. People that are in their craft and they are at the top all the time, zero excuses. Can Jim get there? Absolutely. He can get there. I think that with this win, if he goes and he does win this one, he's putting in a little bit more on that resume when it comes to all-time great. We'll see. But I think you were right. I would agree that we still need to wait before we crown him greatest American trail runner of all time.
In my opinion, I think he's I do like over Scott. I would call him the Western States GOAT. Not that I really like. People are going to listen to this and be like, James knows nothing about ultra, and that's true. That said, I would consider him over Scott the Western States GOAT, just given the level now of how competitive it is for the time, and given where the technology is, and you start to like break down times and just like I think Jim is perfectly capable of running under 14 hours. Like he's shown it so many times. And the next year, if he's back, like he will be chased. I think he gets one more, in my opinion. He gets one more Western States win, and if he gets one more UTMB win, I would consider him a GOAT, amongst that echelon. Even if he gets one more Western States win, I would throw him in there. Like, why not? I would like to see him do more short trail stuff. Like if he goes and wins Series and all, I'm like that. I think that's the indicator of like who is a GOAT is range over time too. Like, one of the things Killian has shown. Joseph Gray has always been such a specialist, right? He's a VK and mountain classic specialist, right? More particularly on the VK, but he's won more championships and world titles than like anyone combined, obviously. I don't even know how many he has at this point. He's going for, I don't know, his gazillionth world title this year. Like, that's a GOAT. I think also range is a big deal too. You throw Jim in the mix when it comes to the GOAT conversation. If he was to win like a series and all, like Katie Scheid almost damn well won series and all this year. That's different conversation, but you could throw her in that conversation, on the women pretty soon if she goes and wins a race like that. So, I don't know.
Agreed.
Some thoughts. All right, let's get into the women, and then we can talk about matchups and picks for our what do you call it? For our podium, and we'll close it out. Some matchups on the women's side: Judith versus Maud. Maud's first OCC. Judith's, I think, second or third OCC. Going to be cool to see them, both Swiss athletes, go up against one another in duel. Mao Yao versus Jolene. Jolene, like I said, 2024 and 2025 Series and All champion. Mao Yao, 2024 OCC champion. And then Sarah Alonso and Sophia Lockley. Like, Sophia has had a really up and down season. She's only raced once, didn't have a crazy good performance. Is she back after 2023, taking 2024 for the most part off? And then you have Sarah Alonso in there. How is she feeling after injury with broken ribs, getting attacked by a cow? Like, and she's so talented and so good. Had, like I said, 4th place finish in 2024 at this race. It's going to be interesting to see some of those matchups and some of the names to watch and kind of how they fit into everything. So.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think he's right. Miao Yao, I really like her. I really do. I think that she's I got her on the podium. I really think that she could vie for a first place win. On top of that, if you say a name kind of fast, it kind of sounds like a cat going to the vet, like meow meow, but that's just my brain, how it works. I just think it's fun. But she's absolutely incredible athlete. And I have her right now, as far as I have her on the podium. That's it. I think that it is crazy. We have these Chinese runners is coming in, and man, they are really throwing down in the trail scene. I mean, like in the last few years, my God, you are seeing some absolutely spectacular athletes. It's wild.
Yeah, no, big time. I don't think it would be a stretch to say I thought like I wouldn't be surprised to see a Chinese athlete on the, if not podium or win UTMB one of these years for sure.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh no. I am right there with you. I am right there with you.
All right, before we get into
I
before we get into final picks, I do want to give one shout out for. Did you look into ETC? This is I sprung this one on you. I didn't tell you about
no,
ETC.
I did not look at ETC. No, in fact, I had no idea it was actually a race.
The reason I'm bringing up ETC is because we've got some notable American athletes, including mutual friend Dan Kurtz in this race. So I wanted to put some shine on our boy Dan. ETC is a 15K race, so it's 9.3 miles. 3,937 feet of climbing. It's like a Cirque Series race, man. Starts in Courmayeur, climbs this beautiful pass, this mountain pass, starts in Courmayeur, does this beautiful loop, and then comes back down into Courmayeur. It's going to be taking place this Tuesday, August 26th at 2 p.m. Again, these weird start times. Can you just give me like a 9 a.m. start or like an 8 o'clock start? Why do we got to do this? But some notable American names. Dan Kurtz, want to give him a shout out. Dude, Dan is so nasty at these distances. Like, I would say easily the best American to have not made, outside of like maybe Liam as well, easily the best American to have not made the world's team, like should be on the world's team in my opinion. And Dan's, I think, pretty hungry to have a good season. So I think Dan's going to crush it here. Janelle Lynx as well, Satisfy athlete, and then Jessica Breu, Hoka athlete, who is going to be on the world's team as well. Jessica is on the vertical team. She got on the vertical team at Broken Arrow Ascent. And then El Hussein is in this race too. So it's going to be interesting. I don't know how he seems to thrive on the technical descending. Dan Kurtz thrives on the technical descending. I think this will be a cool little matchup to see these two together in a race up front. I don't think they've raced each other actually. So it'll be cool to see Dan and El Hussein kind of mix it up because probably the two best men in that race. So that's ETC. Feel like we got to put some shine on that. Good luck to Dan.
Yeah.
All right.
Good luck, Danny boy.
Let's go. And then let's get into our podiums. I'll let you pick the women first.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna go podium. I already said it. You think you probably already know where I'm going with this. I got Jasmine Lowther as number 1. She's winning. The Canadian is pissed. She's coming. She's gonna go show those Europeans what is up. I'm really, really, really excited to see what Jasmine could do, especially after her recent Grand Teton record-setting runs. Number 2, I got Judith Wider. She's got the experience. She's really strong right now. I think that she's a lock for second place. And then number 3, I got Miao Yao. Like I said, she's coming in. That's my 1, 2, 3. Now, fourth place, I think can also. I think that she could get anywhere in this podium. Is Jolene. I think that she could. I think she could do it. I mean, again, I think that you say coming up in distance a little bit. Maybe not, but she could cement herself as a great. These Kenyans is crazy, man. They're so fast. I swear. And that's and then I have Caitlin Fielder, and Sarah Alonso. And then I think it's Teresa LaBouffe. I put her in there because it sounded like
you're close.
Therese LeBeau. Okay, it sounded like to me when I read it, it sounded like Shia LaBeouf. So I was like, I know him as an actor. I'm gonna put her in there. But those are the ones that I got here. But yeah, Jasmine, Judith, and Miao Yao. That's it.
I like it. That's a good solid podium. Dude, yeah, got to give a big shout out to Jasmine. It'll be cool. I definitely think she's easily in the top 5. I think she's going to have a great race. All right, so I'm going to go with mine. I got Judith Wider winning. I think I think she's going to take one. I mean, last year she was in second. I think she'll take a step forward and get the dub here easily. I have Yolene in second place. I've got Sarah Alonso in third on the podium. I've got Mao Yao fourth, and I have Jasmine Lowther. Is it Lowther or Lowther? Even though I've literally had her on the podcast, and I can't remember how to pronounce her last name. I feel like such a piece of shit.
I just call her DJ Jazzy Jeff. That's what I call her. But I don't know actually.
Fair enough. Okay, yeah. Jazz in fifth. I've got and then just off the podium, or just out of the top 5, I have Therese LeBeau, Maud Methis, and Sophia Lockley kind of floating around in there. In the back half in the top 10. Okay. I mean, dude, anything goes. Like, for instance, like if this is a let's say it turns out to be a rainy day as opposed to like a rainy, cool day as opposed to a really hot day. Like in the past, there has been a lot of like toasty days here. We can remember last year a very notable video of Eli just suffering in the heat. I think this year it is going to be a little bit different. If we get a rainy day, that mixes things up. Judith is very good on technical terrain. Like I said many times, like this is her kind of course. I think she's going to be very hard to beat, in my opinion. And I think Sarah Alonso as well. You know, we'll see. We'll see. Some athletes do better in the heat. Some athletes, do better in the terrible conditions. All right, let's talk men. I'll let you take it away with your men's top 5.
Yeah, this one's gonna surprise a lot of people here, maybe not. All right, I got Michelino as number 1 here. Reason being, he's angry. Yeah, last year with the whole Grand Teton thing, he's just been seething for a year, and I think he needs to go out and he really needs to show up. A lot of these athletes go out there and you see them doing their training runs, and they're still doing like 10,000 feet of vert in the week leading up to this thing, and I'm like, that's crazy. Michelino made that same mistake last time he was out there racing, and this year I think he's changed that. He's relaxing, he's eating croissants, he's drinking espressos, and he's staying hydrated. He's going to go out there. He's going to get first place. Second place. Okay. Second place, I got Cade Michael. All right. Number 1, I think that the name confuses me. He's got like a last name as a first name. I think it should be Michael Cade. Sounds cooler, but whatever. We're going Cade Michael as number 2. Number 3, we're going the Frenchman, Jim Walmsley. I think that, he's going to be the only international person on this podium is going to be Jim. 4th place, another American. Guys, it's an American takeover. We got Adam Peterman. I think he's coming in 4th. And number 7, I got this guy. Is Gautier Bonacarrier. I don't know. I think so. I think it's French for giant boner carrier is what his name means. And so obviously he's packing heat and he's ready to bone the competition. So do you know what I'm talking about? It's like got to boner carrier. Yeah, I don't know. But I got him up there. You don't have him on your list.
Who are you talking about, dude? I'm like looking.
I'll send you a note. Yeah, dude, freaking, he's got to have. Yeah, I'm just saying. I said I'm not good with French names, but yeah, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. It starts with a G. Gautierre Bonnecer something.
I have no idea who that's on that list.
Exactly. Right. Yeah, dark horse, freaking giant guy with a freaking hog on him. All right.
Okay. All right. So you got the American sweep then. I like that. Wow.
American sweep, but I also have some notable mentions here. I got Banglin Fan. I want to throw a Chinese runner in there on the American on the men's side because the thing is that if they end up overthrowing the United States, I want to be on the record that I am also an ally. So
okay, all right. Oh,
yeah,
I see Banglin. Okay, Solomon.
Yeah.
Athlete. All right.
Yeah, Solomon athlete.
There we go. All right, so I'm gonna hop on here. I got first place. I'm gonna go Mr. Jim Walmsley. I think Jim is going to be. Yeah, I think Jim's hard to beat, dude. I think it's going to be a tough one. I think it's going to be a good day out for him. I think, dude, like I said, I think Jim is just that good. And maybe I'm wrong, but he hasn't been beaten in a long time, so we'll see. In second place, I'm going to go Davide Magnini. I think Davide continues his success from the Mont Blanc Marathon. I think he's back. And third place, I'm going to go Christian Jones. So Christian Jones is a Hoka athlete from the Great Britain. Absolute killer. Had a 6th place finish here last year. These guys thrive in really terrible, like technical, rainy, terrible conditions. I think if the day worsens and we have bad conditions, you could see Christian win this race. So I've got him in 3rd place. I think he's going to absolutely kill it. It's going to be really fun to see him race. In 4th place, I'm going to go Antonio Perez, who's had so much success on this race. 3rd place finish last year, 2 second place finishes in the years prior. In 5th place, I'm going to go Roberto Di Lorenzi, Swiss athlete, another Swiss athlete on there, and I think he just races so much and is just a very consistent athlete. I think he'll have a good day out there. Back half of my top 5, I do think Michelino has a breakthrough. I'm sorry, back half of my 5 through 10. I think it's very possible Michelino improves on his top 20 finish, or like he was like top 25 in 2022. I think he moves up. and gets the finish that he wants. I think he's very capable of getting himself into the top 10. I see Adam Peterman in the mix there. My question is after a really bad day, see, there's so much mental game to races like this. And my question is, I really respect and like Adam a lot. I think he's a very solid dude, and I think he's an amazing competitor and amazing athlete. My question is, after a really tough day at Western States where he just kind of molded in and just got him, finished the race, and I'm sure obviously did not have the race he wanted to. My question is with that is, where does he go from here? Does he still have those skeletons in his brain? Is it going to be a tough day for him? Is he able to overcome that? Maybe it's a great day. I don't know. Some athletes are really good at forgetting and some are not. So we'll see what happens with Adam. I'm also going to throw in Hannes Naumberger. I think he's going to be in the mix, the German Dynafit athlete. Luca Del Perro as well. Can't sleep on Luca Del Perro. Skyrunner killer. Obviously some great finishes as well. Petter Engdahl. Can't forget Petter. It's weird to not have Petter in my top 5. With the lack there of some consistency, it's going to be interesting, like where he goes for this race. Very well could win the race or be on the podium. Wouldn't be surprised. I just need to see more from him for something like this. Cade Michael as well. I don't know how Cade shakes out. Is he top 15? Is he top 10? Is he top 5? He's talented enough to be top 10. It's just where does that race IQ come in? I have Sam Hendry in the mix, and then I have Nadir Magway in the mix as well. So that's it's going to be really interesting. These picks are always hard to make, so we'll see.
No, I think they're solid. I think they're solid picks. They're good picks. I like it. I'm excited, James. I really am. It's going to be a great week of running. Again, this is our Super Bowl. We're ready.
Yeah. Do we want to do a lightning round or no? I don't know if I have any.
Yeah, we can. I don't know. I didn't prepare any lightning rounds. I mean, if you want, I've never had anyone do a lightning round with me. I didn't have anyone's prepared for you. Let me see here. Yeah. I mean, if you got some questions, I'll answer them, I guess.
All right. I could do a quick lightning round.
Okay.
All right.
I'm ready.
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
All right. Ready? Go. Okay. Who's going to be the top American women in this race?
Ooh. Lightning. Crap. Skip.
Okay. Who's going to be the top American man in this race?
Michelino Sunseru.
Oh, boom. What's the over-under on Michelino pooping his pants again at this race?
Oh, man. I think we're looking at he poops his pants by mile 5 over bet on the under.
We're going to take the under. Okay. Who is the top French athlete in this race?
Jim Walmsley.
Okay. And where does... Okay, done.
Okay, perfect.
I'll give you 2 out of 3.
I think that Jim is definitely going to be the top French athlete here, no question. I would love to throw an American in there in terms of the top. I just think that the female Americans. I'm going to go Hannah Alcott. Actually, I really think it's probably going to be Hannah. Yeah,
I could see that. I think that's a good one.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, Teddy. Anything to end on, or you appreciate you? Some good
No, I'm
jokes
good.
in there.
I'm good. I'm good. Good, James. I think right now morning coffee is starting to hit, so this is perfect time to end.
Okay. Teddy, thanks so much. I appreciate you, man.
Thank you, James.
Yes, sir.
Chasing trail, kicking up dirt, sweating my eyes, but it don't hurt. Fast feet, loose rocks, send it full sail. Ain't no stopping, we chasing trail.